Hey guys, King of Charmander here. Today I'll be a judge, a jury, and your analyst. And so today I bring to you my early Love Cup analysis. As you see, if you've noticed with the wall reigns in Ultra Premier Classic, I'm pretty dang good about making or predicting top teams. I mean, I've done it consistently. But I like doing it data-wise. So PvPoke's data is really consistent, and it does help you climb, and I've made legends, and I've been on that billboard multiple times. So, yeah. So, this is going to be the Love Cup. Next week is Valentine's Day, so make sure y'all buy your chocolates or flowers. Happy wife, happy life, and that's actually a really good way to do it, you know what I mean? And so, it comes to my mental health tip of the day. I know, this is like King of Charmanders. This is like really fast, dude. You usually do it like 2 minutes. Well, the thing about it is that I may or may not have someone in mind, but yeah. You know, it's what it is. Actually, when you're a marriage family therapist, it kind of like poison, like, you know, like relationships really poison you after all the stuff you see doing this line of work. You're like, dang, do I really want to go through that? Or like, yeah, I mean, yeah. So anyways, Queen of Charmanders, I don't know when she's going to come, but you know what? Yeah, Queen of Charmanders. A lot of people have asked me about that multiple times. But yeah, anyways. This is going to be the, okay, so the reason why I'm saying, like, my mental health tip of the day is it's pretty much, yes, happy wife, happy life. And that means good stuff for a reason, because your mental health actually improves when you have a significant other. When you think of them, chemicals like dopamine release into your brain, and you're like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm infatuated with you. Yes, you make me happy. And it does, in fact, improve your relationship. However, make sure y'all have great communication. Make sure y'all compromise. And for those of you guys, make sure you swallow your damn pride, okay? The man of the house, or the dominance, is not a great mentality to have when you're in a marriage. Marriage is of equal footing. You take what you want and then you apply it. Or rather, you make, like, remember I told you about compromise? Y'all freaking plan each other's things out that you like and dislike, want to do, etc. And that's how everything gets better. Not, I'm man, I'm macho, so I control everything said woman does. If you do that, you're probably not in a healthy relationship. Relationships aren't supposed to be controlled. Relationships are supposed to grow. No one has control of everything in life. However, you and your partner can definitely control your communication, your compromise, and of course, making sure that you two are happy together and made for each other. If you don't feel happy with each other all the time, it's okay. You can seek professional advice. However, if it's really that toxic, y'all might want to think about breaking up. Anyways, that is my mental health advice for those of you that do have relationships, since Valentine's Day is coming soon and we're talking about the Love Cup. But yes, that phrase is incredibly true. Happy wife, happy life is so freaking true. That doesn't mean you have to have that doesn't mean you have to be on like a leash for your wife, but you know what I mean? Or your significant other, however, or whichever one, husband, wife, either one, you know, yes, keep them happy and you will also be happy. Anyways, welcome to the Season 10 Early Love Cup analysis. Let's get started. Alright, Season 9 versus Season 10. So, this is Season 9's analysis, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, why didn't they ban Cresselia or Deoxys defense? They're gonna be so overpowered and they're gonna run over the cup. And I was like, this was literally like, I was like, you know what? They probably just forgot and they're going to fix it later. And I was right. Because if you look at Season 9 and you look at it now, here's what happened. Or Season 6, actually. Season 6 didn't have Cresselia or Deoxys defense to begin with. Here's our search. No Cresselia. And then no Deoxys defense. So as you see here, there is no actual evidence that Deoxys defense or Cresselia was ever allowed in a Love Cup to begin with. So they made y'all panic for no reason. Literally, for no reason. So, the biggest difference between, that we're going to get on to, like, the analysis for, like, rankings or whatever. But a few things were buffed, and at the same time, it's going to run for 2 weeks along with Master League like last time. With 3 times the Stardust, which is going to goad you into actually grinding this event. So the Love Cup did have a few changes here and there, but all of y'all being like, yay, they banned Cresselia. Yeah, they never allowed it in the first place. So yeah, I don't see any reason why they allow it now, even with it. But someone, like I said, someone probably just forgot. It's Niantic we're talking about. But, you know, in Pokemon Go, we take every little piece of yay and overbloat it so that we can keep your eyes away from the actual problems. So we can keep hoping and praying that we will have something like Halo Championship Series or freaking Apex Legend Pro Series, or, you know, all the big games that actually have a huge dominant esport with 6-figure contract pro players that Pokemon Go tries so hard to pretend that we do have, even though we're not. The more you ignore there's a problem, the less likely there is going to be a fix. So we ignore it a lot, especially Niantic, so that just shows you what happens. Alright, so here are the Love Cup rankings, and the overall rankings are literally like the exact same as they were last year, with one difference. It's a slug, and it is on fire. We're talking about Magcargo here. So Magcargo is probably the only thing that's actually changed for this year's Love Cup. It's basically it beats Talonflame, but it's also so either you're gonna pick something that both of them lose to water, just Magcargo even more horribly. So you might see things like Alomomola. As you see, it has a terrible rating. So before you guys are like, oh my god, let me use my Magcargo for content, be very aware there's a fish, and that fish is very deadly against your team. And there's finally something in the meta where basically Talonflame was notorious for basically having Flame Charge and Brave Bird aren't resisted by either one, isn't resisted by any mon. Enter Magcargo, which, because it's a fire type, resists Flame Charge, and because it's a rock type, it resists Brave Bird. So there's finally something in the meta that stands up to Talonflame. Despite this fact, Talonflame is still number 1. Talonflame is able to do better against fighters just because of the flying type archetype. At the same time, Alomomola doesn't completely truck it to death, and you can possibly Brave Bird Alomomola to death. For Magcargo, you have a choice between Overheat or Rock Tomb. Or Rock Slide, either one. But still, you're gonna get deleted. It's like, have you ever seen Toxicroak being deleted by Confusion? That's basically what it is. So take all of that, and then you take the last year's meta and then put it with a Magcargo, and that's literally all you get. So yeah, this is gonna be really interesting. Sadly, Churm Hyper Beam Safe Switch isn't really gonna be super viable now, because the problem is when you got, that's what makes it really sad, because Churm Hyper Beam is resisted by rock, and along with that, Weather Ball is also resisted by rock. So, and also, like, Solar Beam, you take neutral damage like Solar Beam. So it's like, dang, man. That's why I loved last year's. Anyways, as you see here, again, overall rankings pretty much the same. Electrode Safe Switch is very interesting. The only issue is against Magcargo now. Electrode with Hyper Beam was a very fantastic Safe Switch. However, just like Talonflame, where it's like, dude, it's like, you know, Bakugo from My Hero, like, he explodes everywhere. Well, guess what? Here, Electrode will not be able to explode on you because Magcargo is on fire. Magcargo as a rock, Magcargo is just really freaking good against you. Also, it also resists Hyper Beam, so that's another whammy. And the leads, not too much of a change either. Again, Magcargo has basically entered the fire type Love Cup meta, which was the kind of what it was last season. Charizard was really freaking good in this cup. So was Talonflame, that's why they're top picks. Lickitung is still a beast Safe Switch, and now Medicham XL has a lot more, I would say, versatility and reason to use in this cup, because with Medicham XL, you beat both Magcargo, you can Psychic Talonflame down, and even against Charizard isn't very bulky, but as you see, Wing Attack Charizard is the preferred moveset. Wing Attack Charizard does super effective damage against Medicham, resists the Charmers as well as the Fighters, and Blastburn still does big damage. Dragon Claw charges fast. So, very powerful, very strong mon. So, Fire type still runs this cup. You can still utilize things like Double Charm just for the fact that they're just so painfully strong. That's why Clefable and Wigglytuff are still top 15. If they use Charmers delete fighters. That's basically why Charmers rank so high. But there are poison types here like Ariados as well as just like super bulky mons like Alomomola and Lickitung. That, well, Lickitung on Wiggly sucks, but Lickitung on Clefable ain't too bad. So just putting that out there. The dangers of using Lickitung is, of course, fighters like Medicham and Scrafty. Medicham and Scrafty, again, have been very powerful fighters, but because Charmers exist, it kind of cancels each other out. What resists Charmers? Fire. What resists fighters? Fire. That's why Talonflame's #1. It's not rocket science. I mean, some people make it out like it is, like, you know, the people that make you stress about IVs for no freaking reason. Even though the fact, like, 1 HP in a dream or, like, CMP is, like, really, there's so many factors. There isn't a lot of factors. You just don't know those factors. You pretend like you know those factors, and they play out the way you want to. But you know what? This is the thing about me and like people that like really have you stressed about IVs. How many of those people that actually stressed about those IVs have actually practiced with those in battle? Probably none of them. You probably don't take those spreads, put them out, and actually battle on your own to see how much it doesn't matter. Because yeah, it's just what it is. Anyways, that's another, like, PvP thing. People make you stress for no freaking reason. They're terrible. Well, I wouldn't say they're terrible content creators, but, you know, you're literally promoting anxiety and stress, which makes you terrible to begin with, but, you know, yeah. Another topic for another time. But, yeah. These are the leads. Fire runs this cup. You can probably even do, like, Fire Double Water or something like that. Might work out. As you see, Electrode is kind of like, even though Electrode's a great save switch, it's kind of put out. It's really good for the fact that you're able to take out Talonflame and Charizard and Alomomola. However, the issue is that you might see a lot of people running Magcargo in the beginning. So, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So, just be very careful. Alright, now we got save switches. So, Charizard is a fantastic save switch. Don't get me wrong. You need the Wing Attack and Blast Burn version. However, with something called Magcargo, you might want to chill with using Charizard for a little bit. So with well, here's the thing. I don't even know if because I would advocate more for Dragon Breath, but I get it because Wing Attack beats the fighters, so that's why. So the meta kind of flips to, okay, fighters are being used more, so use Wing Attack Zard. That's basically it. A lot of people are being like Galarian Slowbro. Well, Galarian Slowbro is a top 10 save switch. However, you lose to all fire type Pokemon. I think people seem to forget Galarian Slowbro loses the water type. It's poison and psychic. Yeah, it doesn't have water. So I don't know why people are saying like, oh my god, it's a fantastic anti-meta pick. Because you beat fighters, but you lose to fire. And you lose to Scrafty too. So just, yeah. It's a great, yeah, Scrafty with freaking Foul Play does wonders against Slowbro. You could still Focus Blast with Galarian Slowbro. The problem is with Poison Jab, it still takes a minute to get there, and Galarian Slowbro isn't the thickest thing on on the earth. It's not, yeah, it doesn't have the biggest booty. Focus Blast can one-shot Scrafty as well as Magcargo. However, that's if you're able to get there. So just putting that out there. So if you see the sim and they have, it depends if they have shields or not. If it's a closer, yeah, you can do it. But the issue is, look at all this pressure. So, yeah, it's very, you can't straight, basically what I'm trying to say here is you can't just straight Focus Blast. Yeah, you can't just straight Focus Blast. You have to like double bait. And that's a terrible rating. So, yeah, in a sense it can. But that's if they decide not to shield. And if you start seeing Galarian Slowbro just running back and forth, they're probably going to try to Focus Blast you, especially since it's the preferred moveset. So if you don't shield, it's still 50-50. So it's up to you. But as you see here, yes, Galarian Slowbro can function as a safe switch. The problem is Focus Blast takes way too long to get to, so you're probably going to get one shield out of an entire mob, which is Galarian Slowbro. However, Galarian Slowbro does resist fighters as well as the Charmers. So if you're unfortunate enough to not encounter either one of them, guess what? You're kind of out of luck. And the good thing is it takes neutral damage from Medicham, so I suppose that's the only really super big matchup that you would really get. But other than that, it doesn't have super great ratings against a lot of other things. Also, Lickitung XL, the reason why it ranks super high, because even if you're against fighters, it still does super well. And against things like Lickitung, as you see here, against Galarian Slowbro, Lickitung XL can still body slam you to death. So that's a whole lot of pink coming your way. It's like Majin Buu from Dragon Ball Z, man. Majin Buu don't die. Guess what? Pink and thick, it usually doesn't die for a very long time. It literally took like hella episodes, man. Y'all had whatchamacallit. Y'all had Majin Buu, and then you had freaking Kid Buu. Well, not really Majin Buu, and then you had like, I forgot what the hell Majin Buu's second form was. And then, well, you had Fat Buu, then you had Majin Buu, and then you had Kid Buu. So yeah, if you know what I'm talking about, Pink does not die, and you know exactly why. But as you see here, yes, fire does dominate and does really, really well. Galaris Lobo, again, can be great safe switch, but that's really dependent on if you get Focus Blast. The keyword is if. And you better pray they don't throw a hard counter into you, or if they have Scrafty in the back, you're in for a long day. And last but not least, the closers. However, the reason why I'm highlighting Electrode, because I love Hyper Beam, but if you can kind of break shields, Electrode is pretty solid. Electrode's Hyper Beam still does big damage against Medicham if you can get to it, and outside, if you could, basically what I'm trying to talk about is if you take out Magcargo, and yeah, taking out Magcargo, take out the grass type, or even if you have the grass type, Hyper Beam still slaps. So 2 counters plus Electrode equals Electrode slaps. Even yeah. But the reason why I'm so hesitant is just because you're probably going to see a lot of Magcargos going out there. Also, Crustle. Crustle is able to smack the unholy crap out of both Magcargo and Talonflame. So just putting that out there. Crustle is a pretty good, solid mod. Especially be able, like with Rock Throw, you're able to take out pretty much the entirety of this archetype right here. And Alomomola, at the same time, is able to take out a whole slew of things. As you see, you beat the entirety of the fire types. You also beat Medicham as well as Clefable, just because it's so tanky. Hell, you could even beat Shadow Vileplume at a closing scenario because you're able to Psychic Gate to death. So, might see a lot more Alomomolas. You might, yeah, Alomomolas as well as Crustles. Well, Crustle was a pretty, like, funny pick in the Love Cup to begin with, and now it comes back. And Electrode, again, the reason I'm iffy about Electrode is just because of Magcargo, but again, Electrode with Hyper Beam, if you can take out Magcargo, it's really freaking good. So, still promote it, but still really sad that Churum Hyper Beam safe switch was freaking amazing, and it will no longer be considered because of the fact that, yeah, well, you might be able to anyways, because Solar Beam, unless you get, like, locked into a Talonflame, Magcargo, you can still shoot for neutral damage, but Flowers really hate being on fire. And Incinerate's going to do a lot of damage against you. So, yes, just putting that there. But as you see, these are your closers. Talonflame is still the strongest closer to begin with, because it's able to wipe out so many different combinations outside of literally just Magcargo. So the reason why Talonflame is number 1 is because it beats more combinations than Magcargo would in the closer down shields anyways. Talonflame is also a lot more useful because with Brave Bird, it hits for big damage and you also get stabbed. Not saying you don't get that with Overheat with Magcargo, but with Magcargo, you lose your attack. So it's just, and Overheat is resisted by things like Alomomola, of course, other fire types, etc., and water types. So, well, I already said water types, but yes. So, very few minor adjustments here and there. So, Magcargo doesn't necessarily flip the meta over its head. It's just another annoying thing you have to watch out for. And that's GG's. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. The meta is going to be a little fire-based, but it's kind of ironic because Magcargo isn't just fire, it's rock. So, yeah, expect a lot of Magcargos for content it comes around, but some oldies like Medicham or your old team will probably still work in this meta. Just add in the mix of Magcargo and boom, that's literally all you have. Love Cup is it's really stale. Double Charm can still work in this cup, especially for the fact if people just start running Magcargo counters. Or even, like, Magcargo versus Charmers, because Charmers well, it's really up to you. You could do, like, something like Medicham double Charmer, which is just disgusting, but it works. So if you catch the Magcargo in front, beat the unholy crap out of the Magcargo, and then charm the unholy crap out of the back row, or if they have, like, fighters or fighter in the back, Medicham, and, of course, Scrafty get absolutely obliterated by Charmers, so... This is why Charm needs to be nerfed. Charm needs to be nerfed, or we just need to... You know, if you could pick bans, like... Yeah. What am I kidding? Legend Arceus is out. I should probably switch content, but you know what? I still like Pokemon Go just because actually, some of my one of my wrestling kids actually is like heavily into Pokemon Go PvP. He just plays it nonchalantly, but he's like 2,000 Great League battles. So if you have 2,000 Great League battles, that's a lot of time put in. So yeah, so that's one of the reasons why. And my close group of friends still play Pokemon Go. So I'll probably never let it go. I love Pokemon Go. It might improve one of these days, but as far as anytime soon or in the near future, probably not. So we'll see what happens. Always keep the hope alive though, but logistically speaking, there's no way in hell we're going to catch up the esports world at this rate. But do your best, stay invested, invest your time wisely, etc. And also make sure y'all stay healthy, okay? If you do me a huge favor, please like and subscribe. It's totally free. And you see next to these two lizards, if you see the bottom right, there's a sub button right there. You could just put your mouse over it and then boom, you could easily subscribe. I save you the work of scrolling down. Good luck on your Go Battle League sets, and I will see you guys on the next video.